What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL playoffs, wild card round, Sunday games, top DFS picks.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for this week's NFL slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NFL playoffs, wild card round. Let's take a look at this 3-game Sunday slate. So at the quarterback position, the quarterback that just sticks out like a sore thumb here is Dak Prescott from the Dallas Cowboys, playing the San Francisco 49ers, who have a good defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing quarterbacks. Dak Prescott has averaged 22 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 3 rush attempts per game. He's going to be about 22% owned, projected at 21.6 fantasy points here in the wild card round of the playoffs. He's 6,700 DraftKings salary, 1,300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 50.5 points scored in this game. So Vegas thinks this is going to be the highest scoring game on the slate. They have the Dallas Cowboys favored by 3.5. So this is also the most competitive game on the slate. And Dak Prescott has scored 32, 24, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's been on fire, so I like Dak Prescott here versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
All you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
and we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy.
And we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video.
So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. So just on the volume alone, and the price tag is not that bad. It's very reasonable pricing here. I like Najee Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers, playing the Kansas City Chiefs, who have a middle of the pack defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing running backs. Najee Harris has averaged 18.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 18.1 rush attempts per game, on top of 5.5 pass targets per game. So he's averaging 23.6 touches per game. That is the highest average volume on the slate by a pretty big margin. And he's on the field for 84% of the snaps. Also on the field for the most percentage of the snaps by a huge margin. He's going to be about 27% owned, projected at 20.4 fantasy points here in the wild card round of the playoffs. He's 6,600 DraftKings salary, 1,400 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 46 points scored in this game, and have the Steelers trailing by 12.5. So the only risk to this play, in my opinion, is if the Kansas City Chiefs get out by like a 3-touchdown lead early, then the Pittsburgh Steelers will probably have to abandon the run. But Najee Harris does get plenty of pass targets, so he can still be involved in the game plan, even if they get down by a couple of touchdowns. So I like Najee Harris here versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. So my favorite wide receiver on the slate, you could stack him up with Dak Prescott. I like CeeDee Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys, playing the San Francisco 49ers, who have a good defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb has averaged 15.1 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 7.5 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 72% of the snaps, going to be about 34% owned, projected at 14.7 fantasy points here in the wild card round of the playoffs. He's 6,300 DraftKings salary, 1,000 more on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 50.5 points scored in this game, with the Cowboys favored by 3.5. So I like this competitive game here. I think the 49ers are going to keep the pressure on Dak Prescott to continue to throw the ball. And you can pretty much throw out the last 3 games by CeeDee Lamb, because they had their playoff seed locked up, and they were not throwing the ball to Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb all that much. Actually, Amari Cooper got plenty of pass targets the last 3 games. CeeDee Lamb looks like they were resting him or just making sure he did not get injured. He only scored 7, 8, and 10 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 2, 4, and 5 pass targets, but I'm not concerned about that lack of volume in the past 3 games. I think he's going to explode here in the first round of the playoffs. So I like CeeDee Lamb here versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the tight end position. I like Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They've been pretty good versus opposing tight ends, but Travis Kelce has averaged 17.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 8.4 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 77% of the snaps, going to be about 31% owned, projected at 17.1 fantasy points here in the wild card round of the playoffs. He's 6,700 DraftKings salary, 800 more on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 46 points scored in this game, with the Kansas City Chiefs favored by 12.5. He scored 13 and 13 fantasy points in the last 2 games off of 5 and 7 pass targets. So you got Rob Gronkowski, who is 6,400 DraftKings salary, and then Travis Kelce is only $300 more. I'm going to take Travis Kelce every single time for only $300 more. So I like Travis Kelce here versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you do want to save some salary at the tight end position, let's say you can't pay up for Travis Kelce, I like George Kittle from the San Francisco 49ers playing the Dallas Cowboys, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing tight ends. George Kittle has averaged 14.9 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 6.7 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 92% of the snaps, and he's going to be about 26% owned, projected at 14.1 fantasy points here in the wild card round of the playoffs. He's 5,800 DraftKings salary, 700 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 50.5 points scored in this game, with the 49ers trailing by 3.5. Now, the past 3 games, Jimmy Garoppolo came back last week, and George Kittle got 7 pass targets, only scored 6 fantasy points, but the pass targets were what was important there. So I'm expecting 7 to 8 or 9 pass targets here. So I like George Kittle here versus the Dallas Cowboys.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.